Hello, welcome to today's webinar brought to you by Keylime Interactive. My name is Kelly Nurses and I'll be your host. Thank you all for joining us. We're excited to talk with Keylime Interactive's Director of Quantitative Research, Dana Bishop, about her quarterly auto insurance mobile competitive index report that's released in June, September, December, and March. Dana joined the Keylime team in January 2014 and brings with her a wealth of experience working in insurance, financial services, and travel industries. She has more than 20 years experience in user research overall, with a concentration in the area of insurance during the past 13 years. Previous clients that Dana has worked with include State Farm, Liberty Mutual, USAA, and many more. Dana has more than a decade of experience running annual competitive benchmark studies for the insurance industry, measuring and tracking how the online and mobile experience for both prospects and customers of the top auto and homeowners insurance companies has evolved. She's fielded competitive insurance studies in the North American, European, and Asian markets. This leads us now to present day, where Dana is leading Keylime Interactive's mobile competitive research division, which includes competitive indexes and benchmarking in a variety of industries, including finance, travel, retail, and insurance. Over the next 30 minutes, feel free to post on Twitter during the webinar using the hashtag KLIEvents. Although this is not a live event, we want this webinar to be interactive, so post any questions or comments that may arise throughout the presentation, and we will be sure to get back to you with an answer. So without further ado, this is a great place for me to have Dana kick off the first talking point.
Great. Thank you very much, Kelly, and thank you all for turning in to learn more about this competitive industry benchmark report. Our most recent installment of this report was published just on June 30th. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity today to walk you through this auto insurance industry report. I want to talk about the methodology behind it, what and who will be included, and a few highlights from the most recent release of this report, published, as I mentioned, just on June 30th, 2015. In an effort to keep up with this competitive industry, we publish these reports quarterly, as many of the included carriers update their features and capabilities with very high frequency in order to satisfy their users. So this comes out in March, June, September, and December each year. But first, before I get into the report, for any of you who may not be familiar with Keylime Interactive, we recently celebrated our 6th anniversary in business. We focus on acquiring customers, converting web traffic, and differentiating your customer experience. We're known for our custom research, our industry benchmarks and competitive analysis, which is what I'm going to be discussing with you today, as well as strategic research and development. So I'd like to go back to sort of the details of what I'm talking about today, which is our competitive index report for the auto insurance industry in terms of mobile. And I'd like to start by highlighting what makes our reports unique and truly valuable to our subscribers. While we do include a full expert review and verification of capabilities, it's our consumer survey of feature priorities for mobile that really make our report both unique and very insightful. We also provide exhaustive screenshots from behind the login. And more than just a simple rankings report, each quarter we're also highlighting some of the most interesting and latest trends and innovations within the industry, with an eye towards what we should be looking at in the coming months and years. And of course, our reports provide companies with an unbiased third-party research, detailed analysis, including things like key success factors of the top performers in the industry, as well as a look at why and where specifically some of the companies are lagging behind those top companies. So I'd like to provide more details about our methodology. As I mentioned, it's quite unique. Our methodology and scoring system, so it's unique in that it's incorporating that value of features and capabilities to consumers directly. These insights are coming not from experts or subjective points of view, but rather directly from the consumers themselves. This is a very important aspect of what we're providing to companies who subscribe to our report. Every quarter, we're surveying consumers, and we're realigning what they value, that they say that they value the most in terms of mobile auto insurance offerings with our scoring system. So that realignment is in that way, our analysis is able to keep in step with what consumers' changing needs are. So scores in categories that consumers consider the most important are most heavily weighted in our scoring than those categories that are deemed less important by consumers. So as a result, the insurance companies that are providing customers with what they desire most are receiving the highest scores. So this slide provides a little bit of an overview for you of the demographics of those consumers included in these quarterly surveys that we're running. So they're all smartphone owners, have auto insurance, mix of gender, education, age, household income. So this consumer survey asks users, as I mentioned, to weigh in and identify the features and capabilities that they consider critical to have a successful experience with a mobile site or app offered by their auto insurance provider. This is done by way of a card sort. So users are asked to place different features or capabilities into one of 5 different groups. And so it shows you a little bit here on the screen. So on the left side of the screen, actually, before I get into the feature card sort, the survey also asks just general usage and habit questions around mobile and insurance and things like that. Then we get into the feature preferences and priorities, and we have users put each of the different features into one of 5 buckets. One, that it's not important at all for auto insurance providers' mobile site or app, that it's 2 would be not important, 3 is sort of neutral or indifferent, 4 are nice to have features, and 5 is very important, must have. So again, we're able to sort of have consumers prioritize for us where these different features fall along that sort of importance range, if you will. So the next key component, so that's one component of our analysis, or of the scoring and methodology. The next key component of this competitive research report is the capabilities assessment. So we conduct an exhaustive expert review or examination and verification of each mobile site and app's capabilities. We do that across all the competitors in the report. And in doing this, we provide a great level of detail in our review of over 105 different criteria that we're looking at. So on screen here is just a quick view of, on the left-hand side here, of what one small category or aspect, just part of it, might look like. We're getting a quote, we're looking at that on a mobile site, and we're going, each of the columns, which are blocked out for this presentation, are one of the providers, and then down that we have usually a dozen different criteria or more that we look at within that category that really kind of gets down to a very granular level about the offerings of each insurance app or mobile site. So then what we do is we take, based on those consumer insights that I first talked about that we collect regarding the most valued features, we take that along with our capabilities assessment, and we're able to calculate a weighted score and ultimately rank the order overall in terms of top sites and apps, and then also an overall winner where we combine the mobile site, the iPhone app, and the Android app. Because we're tracking consumers' priorities longitudinally, we also note any significant changes, whether they go up or down, each quarter in terms of consumer priorities. The screenshot on the far left here of this screen, you can see, while I've blocked out what the actual capabilities and features that we're looking at are, you can see in the columns to the right the nice to have and must haves, or the must have ratings, and the percentages, again, of all 500 consumers combined that are saying that those are must have features, nice to have features, and noting significant differences in red here that several of those had gone down from the previous quarter. Again, we're running this study every quarter because we're really finding that this is a very aggressive industry that really is changing at a very quick speed. So we really are getting a lot in terms of changes that we see just in a few months' time. Other screenshots on this, provided on this slide, show the categories we look at the screenshot in the middle. In the upper right, we're looking at the feature rankings, the star system that we use, and then in the bottom right, you can get an idea of what that, just kind of one of our rankings tables might look like. And this particular one is just for mobile site. So let me provide a quick recap of what I just talked about in terms of methodology. Again, it's unique because it incorporates the value of features and capabilities to consumers, in addition to our expert review, of all features and capabilities across the mobile apps and sites. Every quarter, we're surveying consumers to realign what they're valuing most at that moment and adjusting that in our scoring system. So bottom line is that it results in the insurance companies that are providing customers with what they desire the most receive the highest scores in our studies. Let me provide a little bit of detail about the sort of who and what we're reviewing. So the report includes 8 of the top auto insurance players in the industry, including Allstate, Esurance, Geico, Liberty Mutual, Nationwide, Progressive, State Farm, and USAA. We review all of their mobile sites and phone apps, both iPhone and Android, as well as all available iPad apps of these 8 companies. In addition to our standard report, which is what I'm talking about today, which includes these particular competitors, we offer custom reports that are available for companies that are not listed here or that are not included. This is an option we're very pleased to offer and are actually currently working on customized reports for several companies that are not included in this sort of standard release, if you will, of the competitive index report. Now I'd like to show you a few examples of different data and analysis that we include in the reports. Obviously, the results on some of these screenshots that I'm providing today have been blocked out, but if you purchase the report, you'll be able to see all the details of the results and the competitors. So first on the left is an example of how insurance providers stack up or rank for mobile sites. So again, we're providing charts. We show the previous rank, the current rank, sometimes that goes up and down. We provide different tiers in terms of how they're rating, so who's significantly different, where the different tiers are. So top site may be all alone at the top, or it may have somebody right nipping at their heels. So we sort of show that different variation within tiers. And then on the right, you can see how we break down that score. So the left-hand side, again, is for mobile site category. Then we take mobile site, and this goes for apps as well, obviously, and we break it down further. So we break it down and look at the scores further by 14 different discrete categories that we review so that you can easily see which companies excel or lag behind, not only overall for mobile site or app, but also in terms of very specific areas. So features or capabilities within the apps, or in this case, mobile sites. Okay, then we look at each of those 14 categories that I mentioned previously, and we provide another level of detail in terms of analysis of best-in-class features within each of those areas, and a full assessment of dozens of capabilities within each category. In this example shown on screen is customer service offerings. So on the right, you can see an example of a feature that I've highlighted there with an orange box that is unique to one of the insurance company's apps, and how this feature is then the differentiator in terms of why this company actually ends up outperforming the rest in that category of customer service for its mobile app. So on the left-hand side is an example of how we illustrate kind of the best-in-class feature, if you will, with a complete detailed step-by-step screenshots, as well as an explanation of the strength of those particular apps' customer service capabilities. And in this case, at the bottom of the page, we also summarize what, if anything, may be new in the app or on the mobile site since our previous report 3 months prior. So in terms of, in this case, the example I'm showing, in terms of customer service options, this is an example of the addition that Geico made this quarter in terms of adding an in-app live chat feature. They're currently the only ones who have that. We take something like that and we really drill down into how they're implementing it and what effect it has on the scoring as well. So while we provide rankings, which I've been talking about, and all of the underlying details about why the different competitors are ranked as such, our competitive index report is not merely a rankings report. We also highlight the latest trends and innovations happening within the industry, and some of these innovative technologies and features that have not yet made it into our capabilities assessment, so they may not be standards, so to speak, within the industry. But many are being offered usually by one, maybe two companies. In some cases, some of these technologies are in beta or pilot programs, just to a select number of customers. But we're finding them very noteworthy and things that we really want to be looking at and highlighting for the coming months and years ahead as possible future trends. So in this example that I'm showing here, we look at a few interesting approaches being offered in terms of giving customers quick access to certain information without having to log into the app or site. Excuse me. Like in the financial industry, with options for users to take a sneak peek, if you will, or a preview. So in the financial industry, we've seen banks and credit cards be able to sneak peek their account balance, maybe some recent transactions, all without logging in. In the first half of 2015, we actually have seen a continuing trend of insurance providers adding more convenience-oriented features to meet that growing desire for easy access to important information for mobile users who are on the go. So some examples here that we've illustrated is the ability to find emergency roadside services and amenities without logging in, or for customers to quickly access important policy or agent information without logging in, to access their card or their agent contact details. So finally, I wanted to quickly recap what's included in the full report. And so again, very much detailed in terms of the rankings. So we assign an overall rank for best performers, and we also break down all of the rankings by category. So we've got the mobile site category, the iPhone app, and the Android phone app category. Comparative list of all current mobile capabilities available on each app and for each mobile site. We detail out the consumer's most valued features for auto insurance. And again, we show how it fluctuates from quarter to quarter, whether it's trending up or down in terms of different features. We have detailed scoring breakdown of all the capabilities and features that we review, a comprehensive assessment of all best-in-class features within all 14 categories that we review, the new trends and innovations within the industry section I just spoke about, and there's more in there as well. But that's the basic overview of everything that's included in these quarterly reports. And at this point, I'd like to hand it back over to Kelly to let you know how you can contact us to learn more, or if we can answer any specific questions you may still have, or if you'd like to subscribe to our auto insurance mobile competitive index reports.
Thank you, Dana. And for those of you that are interested in purchasing the report, you can buy a single report for $6,000, or you can get the annual subscription and receive all 4 reports excuse me, throughout the year at a discounted price of $20,000. So that's a $4,000 discounted price if you want to do the annual subscription. So if you're interested in purchasing or you have any questions about the report and how you can get your hands on it, you can email us at tracy@keylimeinteractive.com or give us a call and we'd be happy to get you some more details on that. So thank you for attending the webinar today. We do hope you're able to get a lot out of it. Our Auto Insurance Mobile Competitive Index Report is published quarterly in June, September, December, and March. Feel free to submit any questions you may have on Twitter using hashtag KLIEvents, and we will be sure to get back to you soon. You can also get in touch with Keylime Interactive by emailing us at marketing@keylimeinteractive.com. So we look forward to hearing from you. And again, thank you for your time. This concludes our webinar for today. Have a great day.